Damien Sterling hated Omegas, but he was forced to marry me. I'm a low-rank Omega. My parents ignored me from the moment I presented, so my grandfather raised me. Before he died, he entrusted me to the Sterling family. Grandpa Sterling was my grandfather's best friend. Without thinking twice, he had his grandson marry me. When Damien heard the news, he almost flipped the table. He pointed at me. There are so many ways to take care of someone. Just give him money. Why this? Grandpa Sterling stayed calm. You two are highly compatible, and you don't want to date anyone. I think Elliot's perfect for you. Grandpa, you know I hate Omegas. Damien took a deep breath. Compatibility doesn't mean we'll be happy together. Grandpa Sterling's eyes narrowed. You forgot something. You met him when you were little. You said you'd marry him when you grew up. Now I'm making it happen. What's the problem? Damien looked shocked. That was just childish stuff from years ago. Grandpa Sterling ignored him. His mind was made up. He turned to me. What about you? Do you want to marry him? I didn't know what to say. I lowered my head and stayed silent. The truth was, it didn't matter who I married. If not him, then it would be someone else my parents chose. They always schemed. They wanted to marry me off for money. Money to pay for my two alpha brothers' education and businesses. That's why, before he died, my grandfather entrusted me to the Sterlings. Damien had no choice. He resigned himself to the car ride to City Hall. He handed me a prenup. Read it. I didn't even look. I flipped to the last page, picked up the pen. I was ready to sign. You're not gonna read it? Damien stared at me. Aren't you scared you'll get nothing? I trust you. I signed my name, stroke by stroke. Damien let out a sharp laugh. Right. I'm the one getting screwed here. If you hadn't manipulated my grandfather, we wouldn't be here. I wanted to say something, but I couldn't. What could I say? Damien was an S-rank alpha. If it weren't for our grandfathers, he would never marry someone like me, a low-rank Omega. I managed to short, I didn't, and turned away. I ignored him after that. After the quick ceremony, Damien tossed the marriage certificate at me. I have things to do. Find your own way back. He walked toward the parking lot. After a few steps, he turned back. We'll live separate lives. I won't bother you. You don't bother me. 1 year from now, we get divorced. I know, I said. Sometime later, I finally found my way to the apartment we were supposed to share. Beep, beep, beep. Incorrect passcode. I was confused. I tried again. Still wrong. Grandpa Sterling gave me the code yesterday. I couldn't have forgotten it. The only explanation was that Damien changed it. I blinked slowly. On a whim, I tried a different code. The date 1 year from today. Beep. Unlocked. The apartment was dark. Damien wasn't home. It looked like he wouldn't be back tonight. After a quick dinner, I curled up on the sofa. Suddenly, there was noise at the door. I turned my head. My eyes met Damien's. He froze, surprise flickering in his eyes. How did you get in? I used the passcode. This marriage was never something either of us wanted. 1 year from today, we'd be divorced. I looked away. Don't worry. When the time comes, I won't cling to you. Damien gave me a long look. Then he said, see that you don't, and hurried upstairs. After half a month of living peacefully, Grandpa Sterling sent a message. He wanted us to come for dinner. I replied okay and went outside to get a cab. Before I could, a car pulled up. The window rolled down. Damien's sharp profile appeared. Get in. He stared straight ahead, not even glancing at me. He looked so reluctant. If I was the only person on the street, I wouldn't be sure he was talking to me. No thanks. I can get a cab. I refused without thinking. Damien clicked his tongue, his voice sharp. You begged to marry me. What's with the act now? What was he talking about? I wasn't the one who dragged him to get married. His words made my blood boil. I turned and walked away. I didn't look back. I'd find another cab. A car door slam. Then Damien's angry voice. Are you trying to get me yelled at by Grandpa? Honestly, I kind of wanted to see that happen. Damien caught up fast. He grabbed my arm. I stumbled. A sharp pain shot through my arm. I couldn't help but wince. I barely touched you. He let go immediately, his eyes falling on the red mark. Omegas are so fragile. I didn't even use force, and you're saying it hurts. So much hassle. I rubbed my arm, finally snapping back. Yeah, I'm fragile and a hassle. It's not like I asked you to pick me up. Damien fell silent. His breathing was uneven. Then, awkwardly, he reached for me again, this time gentle. His voice softened. I'm sorry. That was wrong. Come on. Let's not keep Grandpa waiting. When we got to Grandpa Sterling's house, he pulled me into a chess game. He completely ignored Damien sitting nearby, looking annoyed. While we played, I chatted with him. Grandpa Sterling glanced at Damien, then gave me a watch as a wedding gift. I tried to refuse, but he insisted. He put it on my wrist himself. If he ever gives you trouble, you tell me. I'm on your side. I will, Grandpa. I grinned. Damien, sitting nearby, frowned. He looked uncomfortable. I remembered this place. When I was little, my grandfather brought me here once. Back then, Damien wasn't scowling. He was sweet, always following me around, complimenting me, asking me to be his husband when he grew up. Who would have thought a childhood joke would come true? I really did marry Damien. As the sky darkened, Damien interrupted us. His frown deepened. Weren't we supposed to eat? The food's getting cold. Why are we still playing chess? At dinner, Damien sat across from me. His long legs kept brushing against mine under the table. I remembered how he hurt my arm. A mischievous streak took over. I deliberately rubbed my foot against his leg a few times. He froze. His eyes widened. His chopsticks clattered onto the table. What are you? Damien, why are you shouting at him? Grandpa Sterling had no idea what was happening. Grandpa, he was clearly. A faint blush crept up his ears. He stammered, unable to explain. I just smiled innocently, like I hadn't done anything. The frustrated look on his face didn't fade until bedtime. Unlike our apartment, we couldn't sleep in separate rooms here. Damien had to share a bed with me. He wrapped himself tightly in the blankets, like some damsel protecting her virtue, like he was afraid I'd pounce. A faint scent of mint filled the room. I didn't think much of it. I assumed it was air freshener, until the night grew deeper. A subtle heat began inside me. I tossed and turned. I couldn't sleep. A hand suddenly pressed on my shoulder. That meant he sent. Damien's cool voice. If you can't sleep, get out. His arm was cool. I instinctively grabbed it and rubbed my cheek against it. Is the AC broken? I'm so hot. Damien's whole body went rigid. He pushed me away. Do you realize you're going into heat? As he said it, I smelt my own pheromones, grapefruit, thick and overwhelming. Something was wrong. I reached back and touched my neck. My glands weren't swollen, not like a real heat. I'd forgotten. Low-rank omegas are easily affected by alpha pheromones. Just a tiny amount could send me into pseudo-heat. I bit my finger, trying to use pain to push back the heat. What do? You can't use suppressants for pseudo-heat. Moisture blurred my vision. I couldn't make out Damien's expression. All I could feel was that cool mint scent. A large hand covered my eyes. Damien's voice was hoarse. Don't look at me like that. Time passed. The heat didn't fade. It grew stronger. Desperate, I grabbed his wrist. Could you help me? Damien glanced at me. He didn't answer directly. Have you forgotten the agreement? The prenup said we wouldn't interfere in each other's lives. That includes heats and ruts. No, I haven't. But he was the one who triggered this. What was the harm in helping? The mint scent thinned. He was refusing. Damien wouldn't help me. Dejected, I pulled back and hugged the blankets. I silently turned away. In that instant, the heat seemed replaced by a chill from my heart. It gave me a moment to breathe. Hassle. I heard fabric rustle behind me. Then I was pulled into a warm embrace. Without warning, a sharp pain shot through my neck. After the temporary mark, I didn't see Damien for days. The official story was a business trip. In reality, I think he was avoiding me. That night, after he bit my gland, I was still enjoying the relief. Without hesitation, Damien left me. He locked himself in the bathroom. I planned to wait for him, but I couldn't stay awake. He never came out. The constant shower sound became white noise. When I woke up, Grandpa Sterling told me Damien left for an emergency trip. A newly marked Omega becomes dependent on their alpha, but my alpha left before I knew it. I understood then. The temporary mark meant nothing. The embrace meant nothing. Damien still didn't accept me as his Omega. I pushed down my disappointment. I understand. Smelling the mixed pheromones on me, Grandpa Sterling smiled. He showed me photos of Damien as a kid. He told me stories. He also explained why Damien hated Omegas. Damien was handsome, an S-rank alpha, heir to the Sterling fortune. Many people tried to get close to him. They exploited how alpha and omega pheromones affect each other, trying to use omegas to trap him. Numerous omegas in heat had been planted in his hotel rooms during trips. Countless other times, he was harassed with pheromones. Whether intentional or not, it happened too often. It made Damien despise pheromones and omegas more and more. Grandpa Sterling looked at me gently. So, for my sake, can you give him time? For his sake? I texted Damien. When are you coming back? I waited. Damien never replied. The mark on my neck faded. The mint scent stripped from my body. For 2 days, my glands swelled on and off. My heat was coming. Since Damien wasn't back, I decided to go to the old house, where my grandfather and I used to live. It was run down, but it was my safe place, where I weathered years of heats alone. As I turned into the alley, my phone dinged. It was Damien. A brief reply, today. Nothing more. Maybe it was my pheromones, but I felt disappointed. I refreshed the chat a few times. Suddenly, I heard frantic footsteps behind me. A pungent alpha pheromone scent. My glands throbbed. Pain shot through my neck. A strong force yanked me backward. Before I could scream, a rough hand clamped over my mouth. My phone clattered to the ground. Someone pinned me down, took a deep whiff of my neck, and let out a lewd laugh. In heat and still outside, little Omega, were you waiting for me? His hand moved to my waist. Nausea washed over me. I kicked hard between his legs. The man cried out. Forgetting my phone, I forced myself up. I ran. I didn't get far. The enraged man grabbed me and slammed me against the wall. You dare kick me? You go into heat for my pheromones, so why act high and mighty? Sharp pain shot through my head. My vision went black. I struggled. I felt regret. Why did I come here today? The next second, the weight vanished, replaced by sounds of punches and kicks. The man's cries. I stumbled up, gasping. My vision cleared. Damien was here. The tension released. My legs went weak. I leaned against the wall, panting. Damien rushed over, worry on his face. He caught me. Fresh mint drove away the foul stench, bringing profound relief. Damien called the police. His assistant stayed to wait. Then he took me to the hospital. I was still shaking. I clung to him. I didn't want to let go. Damien's voice was gentle. Let go. Let's get you checked first. I shook my head. I wanted to wrap around him. I was terrified. If he left, something would happen again. This is a hospital. Nothing will happen. Damien was patient. He released pheromones to soothe me. Let the doctor check you. As soon as you're bandaged, we'll go home. Okay. I slowly loosened my grip. I looked at his gentle expression. When had Damien ever been this gentle with me? His cool mint pheromones were so reassuring. I finally let myself relax. Damien didn't lie. After the checkup and bandaging, he took me home. Why did you go there today? I didn't want him to know my heat was coming. I told a small lie. I left something there. I went back to get it. Damien didn't question it. Next time, tell me. I'll take you. I looked at him, surprised. Damien didn't say anything, his attention on the TV. After a while, he added, It's what Grandpa wanted. Don't overthink it. Oh, of course. It wasn't like he had a change of heart. Normally, Damien wouldn't stay long, study, bedroom, or out. But today he sat on the sofa with me, watching a variety show. I hugged a pillow, feeling restless. My body temperature rose. My glands burned. Grapefruit scent leaked out. Damien shifted away, his brow furrowed. Are you in heat again? I bit my lip, said softly. My heat cycle is here. Last time was pseudo-heat. I clenched my fists, fighting the urge to get closer. Damien, you should go. I don't want to affect you. Without hesitation, Damien got up and left. Watching his back, I almost called out for him to stay. Even just a hint of his pheromones would be enough. But his words echoed. Hassle. I couldn't ask him to stay. Hands shaking, I injected the suppressant and slowly went to my room. I curled up in my nest of clothes. A knock on the door. I opened it. Damien was there. Your heat. A faint blush on his face, awkward. You need me to do anything? Huh, what? Did he think my pheromones were too strong, affecting him? So he came to intervene? Didn't we agree not to interfere? I knew my place. I didn't dare hope. Damien's face darkened. He nodded. Right. No interference. He turned and went to his room. The slam of his door was deafening. I crawled back to my nest, waiting for the suppressant to work. But the heat intensified, like I'd been thrown in boiling water. Desire drove me to shakily get up. The moment I stepped out, I collided with Damien. I was about to speak when he let out a soft sigh. I looked up, a knowing expression on his face. Damien shook his head, resigned. I knew it. Omegas have zero self-control. He carried me back to the room. I opened my mouth, trying to explain I just wanted his pheromones, nothing more. But Damien didn't let me speak. He leaned down and sealed my lips with his. In the thick of desire, the cool mint was perfect comfort. Damien became much closer after that. He no longer avoided me. He started spending more time at home. Hugging became routine. His previous dislike seemed distant. He seemed to accept me as his omega. We spent a month like a honeymoon. After my semi-annual checkup, Damien came to pick me up. As soon as I got in the car, I leaned over and kissed him. The effect of being temporarily marked. Lately, I was addicted to his scent. Missing one kiss made my heart ache. I gave him a light peck again. Damien turned his face away, expression neutral. He always disliked public affection. We're going to see a baby soon. Strong pheromones aren't good. He was taking me to his friend Nathan's baby's first birthday. The baby sat in his stroller, kicking his feet. Damien and I watched him chew on his hand. Isn't my son adorable? Nathan smiled. I couldn't help reaching out. Yes, so cute. His cheeks are so soft. The next second, the baby was in Damien's arms. You're a natural. Nathan grinned. You too should have one soon. Give my son a playmate. Damien didn't answer. He just looked down, gently squeezed the baby's hand, lost in thought. Nathan's casual remark made me fantasize. What would our child be like? Soft and adorable? Look like Damien or me? But Damien probably wouldn't agree. We had agreed to divorce in a year. And Alpha and Omega getting divorced couldn't have a child. The conversation shifted. A moment later, Damien suddenly spoke. Okay. I looked at him, shocked. Damien's expression was normal, a slight smile. Okay, what? The clock ticked toward 9. The baby was yawning, carried off to bed. I was sleepy too. I went upstairs to find Damien so we could leave. The study door was ajar. Light spilled out along with voices. So how is it? Having an omega isn't so bad, right? It's not great. Damien's voice was flat. They're such a hassle. Always going into heat. And when they do, they just whine for pheromones. Like they can't live without them. Hey, don't say that. Nathan interrupted. He has lower pheromone levels. He's more susceptible to yours. Besides, doesn't it help you get closer? That's good, right? Damien didn't reply. He seemed to sense something and suddenly turned toward the door. I quickly ducked and tiptoed downstairs. The living room was empty. My throat tightened. My eyes stung. So Damien still hated me. Hated me for being an omega. The gentleness after my heat was illusion. The cold disgust was reality. The pheromones and Mark created this fantasy, made me believe Damien was starting to like me. A moment later, Damien appeared. Let's go. I fought to keep my expression neutral, took a long breath. Okay. As I lay in bed, memories of the past 2 months flashed through my mind. Damien's blatant impatience at the beginning, then his later warmth. Before his tenderness, I could endure his annoyance. But after discovering his gentle side, I couldn't bear his disgust. I sniffled, grievance washing over me. It wasn't like I wanted this marriage. He only hated me. We could have lived separate lives. He was the one who crossed that line, who helped me through my heat. And now it was my fault. Suddenly, I didn't want to continue like this. I couldn't stand his hatred. Since I couldn't sleep, I got out of bed. Before we married, Damien had his lawyer draft divorce papers, same time as the prenup. The printer spat out the agreement. I skimmed it, crossed out sections, signed my name. Around noon, Damien came home as usual. He hugged me. What's wrong? He cupped my face. You don't look happy. Tears almost burst out. I shook my head. During lunch, watching Damien act calm, the words I overheard replayed. I couldn't help but ask, before we married, you said you hated omegas. What about now? You still hate them? Damien glanced at me. Why the sudden question? It's nothing. I quickly finished my food and went to the room. Damien followed, brow furrowed. What's wrong with you? Perfect. I didn't have to find him. I handed him the signed papers. Damien, let's get a divorce. What? He didn't take them. They fluttered to the floor. My eyelashes trembled. I stared at the black and white text. Isn't this what you wanted? I thought it through. I don't want to force you. Damien took a deep breath. I never said I hated you. I never said I wanted a divorce right now. I shot back. We're getting divorced eventually anyway, aren't we? Damien didn't answer. The scent of his pheromones became overwhelming. After a long moment, he said, Grandpa won't agree. If I tell him, he will. Damien mumbled quietly. The mint scent, usually so fresh, was now so heavy it was hard to breathe. Suddenly, my phone dinged, shattering the silence. I opened it. Test results from the hospital. I knew I should deal with Damien, but I clicked on it. My heart began to race. When I saw the results, my heart skipped a beat. I'm pregnant. How is that possible? We were careful during my heat. Seeing my face drain, Damien pulled me into his arms. What's wrong? His eyesight was good. He saw the contents on my phone. Damien let out a soft laugh. The oppressive air lifted. Still want that divorce? I numbly lowered my phone, blinking, completely lost. This baby was so unexpected. Yes. His response was his back and the thunderous door slam. Ignoring Damien, I made a hospital appointment. The moment I stepped down, Damien was waiting. He looked terrible, dark circles under his eyes. Let's talk. I dodged his hand. I don't have time. Where are you going? I'll drive. And Omega's strength is no match. Damien forced me into the car. The baby is mine too. I have a right to be there. After the checkup, the doctor told me something. Because my pheromone level was low, I needed a temporary mark from an alpha every day. I glanced at Damien. I'd banished him outside. I asked, can I just take synthetic pheromones? We were getting divorced. How could I ask my soon-to-be ex for pheromones every day? The doctor shook her head. Synthetics are no match for real. Even pheromones from a hug are better. So I still needed Damien. On the way back, I had no idea how to solve this. I closed my eyes in frustration. The car stopped at our door. Damien, who'd been silent, finally spoke. Can we please not get a divorce yet? I shook my head. A divorce won't stop me from keeping the baby. I never said you couldn't see the baby. He played the grandpa card. Grandpa's getting older. I'm afraid he'll get too angry. It'll be bad for his health. He knew his grandpa would be angry. Then why didn't he take this marriage seriously? Seeing my silence, Damien proposed a compromise. This house is in your name. I'll move out tomorrow. You keep living here. Is that okay? I reluctantly agreed. Damien slowly moved out. He didn't take much, but the house felt empty. I had to find things to do to keep busy, to stop my mind from wandering. It wasn't until dusk that I realized I was starving. Just as I was about to order takeout, Damien called. "Have you eaten?" "Not yet." I heard him sigh with relief, his voice tentative. "I forgot we don't live together anymore. I made too much food. Can I bring it over? We can eat together." After he spoke, he held his breath, waiting. I hesitated. "Okay." Less than a minute later, Damien appeared, like he'd been waiting outside my door. I gave him a strange look. Damien calmly set the food on the table. I thought he'd leave after dinner. But Damien sat on the sofa with me, claiming he wanted to finish the show we'd been watching. I didn't believe him. He always fell asleep halfway through. "Can't you watch it at your place?" I wasn't bothering to be polite. No, his eyes on the TV. He fed me fruit. I don't like watching alone. Fine. With him beside me, even without releasing pheromones, I could absorb a little. As sleepiness crept up, I tried to kick him out. This time, Damien didn't make excuses. He reluctantly put on his shoes. Just as he was about to leave, I touched my stomach. After hesitation, I called out, "Damien." He turned. "Have you read the Omega Pregnancy Handbook I have?" I bit my lip. "Then do you remember what it said?" The next second, I was pulled into a mint embrace. He gently kneaded my scent gland. Tingling made my legs weak. "This might hurt a little. Bear with it." Then his canines pierced my skin. Cool mint rushed into my glands, through my entire body. I clenched my jaw, trying not to make a sound. After forever, I shifted my numb legs. "Okay, that's enough. I need to sleep." Damien obediently let go, but my legs were numb. I couldn't stand. He caught me. Damien licked his lips, expression serious. Can you?" "What?" I looked up, confused. When I met his intense gaze, my heart fluttered. "You're imagining things." "Of course not." A kiss landed unexpectedly, cutting off my sentence. Doesn't he hate Omegas? What's he kissing me for? For the next 2 weeks, Damien used the same excuse. Made too much food. Brought it over for the baby's sake. I didn't refuse. Until today's checkup. The doctor told me temporary marking could change to once a week, not daily. I could finally refuse Damien. "I've already eaten." "You eat by yourself. Save leftovers for next time." After silence, Damien asked, "Was yesterday's food not good?" "I made something different today." "No, it was fine." I moved to close the door. Damien blocked it with his hand. His gaze shifted to my neck. "You haven't been marked yet." At the mention, I couldn't help but laugh. "The doctor said I don't need it every day anymore." Damien looked stunned. I shut the door in his face. The next day, right on schedule, Damien called. "Grandpa said he misses you. He wants us to come over." When we got to Grandpa Sterling's, he was all smiles. "Why didn't you tell me you were coming? I would have had Mrs. Lee prepare your favorites." I turned and glared at Damien. So he used his grandpa as an excuse to trick me. I forced a smile. "Oh, we just suddenly missed you, Grandpa. So we came." Our visits stretched from day into night. Looking at the dark sky, Damien took initiative. "It looks like it's going to rain, Grandpa. We'll just sleep here tonight." Grandpa Sterling was delighted. I was not. Staying meant sharing a room with Damien, listening to the wind and rain outside, which granted Damien his wish. I deliberately sat on the sofa, procrastinating. Damien asked uncertainly, "Are you angry?" I huffed. "Not at all." I wasn't angry. I just didn't understand. Damien had been acting so strange lately. "Can we go rest first?" Damien asked softly, before Grandpa notices. Using his grandpa again, I shot him a look and stomped to the room. When it was time to sleep, I wrapped myself in the blanket, turned my back, making it clear I didn't want to talk. Rustling behind me, Damien moved closer. "Do you need pheromones?" I kept my eyes closed, ignored him. "You probably do." Damien talked to himself. "The handbook says you need a lot during pregnancy." Before I could answer, Mint washed over me, blanketing me completely. Breathing in the rich pheromones, my body and mind relaxed. Thinking about his recent behavior, so different, I let out a self-deprecating laugh. Late at night, his breathing grew steady. I curled up. Once he was asleep, I whispered, "Damien, the way you've been acting lately, I almost thought you were starting to like me." After we got back, I didn't hear from Damien for 2 days. An indescribable emotion settled over me, restless and irritable. Pregnancy requires alpha pheromones. I found myself drawn to his room. Damien hadn't stayed here in so long. The pheromones were barely detectable. Unable to smell his scent, I ended up punching his pillow over and over. Damn him. He was the one who said he'd give me pheromones. What was this disappearing act? After thinking it over, I decided to call him. I had my excuse. The baby wanted its alpha's pheromones. The phone rang forever without answer. My patience wearing thin, he finally picked up. On the line, Damien's voice sounded strange, breathing ragged. What was he doing? Am I interrupting? Don't get the wrong idea. No, Damien denied, but breathing was still heavy. I'm working out. Oh, and here I was thinking I'd catch him cheating, finally get him to sign the papers. Damien, you haven't given me calming pheromones for 2 days. My stomach feels upset. Damien didn't make me wait long. He must have rushed over. His body temperature was high, his pheromones intense. It worked wonders to calm me down. Unconsciously, that mint scent grew stronger and stronger, almost overwhelming. I pinched my nose. Can you tone it down? It's too strong. Damien kept his head down, silent. I found it strange. Clutching the blanket, I asked, "Damien, what's wrong with you?" Damien slowly lifted his head. The corners of his eyes were flushed red, damp eyes holding inexplicable vulnerability. I feel awful. His expression and tone were full of fragility, petulance. I'd never seen him like this. I was stunned, muttering, "Have you lost your mind? Did I ask for too many pheromones? Did he release so much his brain short-circuited?" Damien walked toward me, asking plaintively, "I feel awful. Why aren't you coming to hug me?" He collapsed into my arms, nuzzling his head against me. "Need pheromones. Give me pheromones." His moist lips brushed my neck. A shiver of pleasure made me tremble. The sensation made it impossible to push him away. Even if I'd never seen it, I could guess Damien's rut had started. Deprived of pheromones, Damien's eyes turned red, tears welling up. "Why won't you give me pheromones?" A low-rank Omega doesn't have many pheromones. Especially now that I was pregnant, I needed to supply them to the baby every day. How could I have enough for a full-grown alpha in rut? I tried my best to release them, but the grapefruit scent was easily overwhelmed by mint, never reaching the concentration he needed. Damien cried, "Just hold me." I did as he asked, cooing softly, There, let's take a little shot. You'll feel better, okay?" No, hugs weren't enough. Damien wanted kisses, and even more. "Like you. I like you so much. I want you." He pressed me down, kissed me desperately. His whole body was hot and flush against mine, making me go limp. I fumbled to open the suppressant injector and, without looking, quickly jabbed it into his body. The person crying and fussing suddenly went quiet. Damien stared at me blankly, touched the back of his neck, and choked out, "That hurt a little. You'll feel better soon." I patted his head and, with great effort, managed to tuck him into bed. The suppressant slowly took effect. Damien gradually calmed down. Looking at his peaceful sleeping face, I was furious. So who's the one who gets all weepy and whines for pheromones during their cycle? Sniffing the strong mint scent on myself, I looked at him again. Finally, I couldn't resist kicking the sleeping alpha. After his rut, Damien was back to normal, like that night was just a dream. The days passed peacefully. My flat stomach slowly began to show a soft curve. In the evening, I was watering flowers, waiting for Damien to come over after work. A phone call shattered the quiet. Where the hell have you been? You haven't been home in so long. My mood plummeted. I asked coldly, what do you want? Even through the phone, I could picture my mother, Margaret, jumping up and down. I'm your mother. Do I need a reason to call? They abandoned me long ago. As soon as my test results came back as a low-rank Omega, they cast me aside. For all these years, every time she contacted me, it was either for money or because she'd taken money from some alpha to let him forcefully mark me. Margaret's tone suddenly changed. Son, you're not getting any younger. Mom found a good match for you. This again. I cleared my throat and cut her off. I'm pregnant. Her voice stopped. I deliberately continued. The baby's father and I broke up. I don't have money for an abortion. Mom, can you give me some money? Don't you dare. Margaret's tone was disgusted, voice sharp. You go out and fool around, get yourself knocked up, and now you're asking me for money? I don't have a son like you. Like she was afraid I'd really ask. Margaret hung up, still cursing. I pretended to be anxious, called her back a few times, until she got annoyed and blocked me. The surroundings fell silent. My emotions slowly caught up. A wave of sadness washed over me. A gentle mint scent slowly drifted over, carrying strong comfort. I sniffled and asked in a low voice, you heard all that? Damien grunted, tone unreadable. He easily lifted me into his arms and carried me inside. I explained quietly, I was just saying things to make her angry. I didn't mean it. Damien didn't ask more. He just silently stayed by my side. When it was time for him to leave, Damien helped me get settled and was about to go. Breathing in his mint scent, I suddenly grabbed the corner of his shirt. Damien, maybe you could stay tonight. He paused. I'm turning off the lights. Okay. I shifted over, making plenty of room for him. It had been so long since we slept in the same bed. I thought I'd feel awkward, but surprisingly, it felt natural. Damien's embrace was warm. I couldn't help but lean in, curling up in his arms. Without warning, my eyes stung with tears. I rubbed my nose and whispered, Damien, I don't have a family anymore. I used to hold out hope for my parents. I thought since they gave birth to me, even if my designation didn't meet expectations, they couldn't possibly hate me that much. But in reality, from the time I was 5, the only family I had was my grandfather. Only he didn't mind I was a low-rank Omega. He was the one who took me in. You have me and the baby, and my grandpa. Damien gently stroked the back of my head, voice soft. We're all your family. I clutched his shirt, listening to his words. But my mind flashed back to what I heard at Nathan's house. But don't you hate me? Damien's whole body tensed. I don't hate you. I choked back a sob. But I heard you. Heard what you said at your friend's house that day. Damien's expression faltered. His lips turned down. You heard all of it. I nodded. Damien held me carefully, explaining softly, I'm sorry. I was wrong to treat you so badly before. I just couldn't accept it right away, so I said those things. That night when I was holding you, I thought about it carefully. I like you. I never hated you. I let out a soft "oh." Damien immediately held me tighter, like he wanted to meld me into his body. Can you give me a chance to love you again? I bit my lip, forcing myself to stay calm. I nodded. I'm okay. Damien chuckled, leaned in to kiss me, voice low, full of affection. So, baby, we're not getting a divorce, are we? Hearing the sudden pet name, my cheeks burned, my ears turned red. I gave him a little push, shyly dodging the kisses he kept planting. Don't call me that. Then what should I call you? Damien asked, feigning innocence. Baby, he already called me that. Why did he have to ask? Sweetheart, my love. I felt my face burning, my heart racing. Damien pulled me closer, his mint scent surrounding me completely. I love you. His voice was soft, sincere. I'm sorry it took me so long to realize it. I buried my face in his chest. I love you too. No more talk of divorce. No more talk of divorce. Damien kissed the top of my head. His hand rested gently on my stomach, where our baby was growing. We're a family now. I nodded, tears slipping down my cheeks. But this time, they were happy tears. 6 months later, I gave birth to a healthy baby boy. He had Damien's sharp features and my softer expressions. When Damien held him for the first time, I saw tears in his eyes. "He's perfect," Damien whispered. "Just like you." Grandpa Sterling visited us at the hospital. His face lit up with joy. "I knew you two would be perfect together." He beamed. "Your grandfather would be so proud." I thought about my grandfather, how he'd entrusted me to the Sterlings, how he'd known even when I didn't that this was where I belonged. "Thank you, Grandpa," I said softly. Life wasn't perfect. Damien still had his moments, his occasional impatience, his workaholic tendencies. But he loved me. He loved our son. And that was enough. We never did sign those divorce papers. Instead, we renewed our vows on our first anniversary. This time, it wasn't forced. It wasn't an arrangement. It was a choice. Damien chose me, and I chose him. The low-rank Omega and the S-rank Alpha who learned to love. "Daddy, Daddy, look," our son, now 3, ran across the garden, a fistful of dandelions held high. Damien caught him mid-stride and swung him into the air. "What do you have there, little man?" "Flowers for Papa." He wiggled free and ran to me, shoving the weeds into my hands. I knelt down and kissed his forehead. "They're beautiful, sweetheart." Damien came up behind me, his arms wrapping around my waist. His mint scent was soft and warm. "He gets his charm from you. He gets his stubbornness from you." Damien laughed, and our son ran off to chase butterflies. Grandpa Sterling sat on the porch, watching us with contented eyes. He'd aged in the past few years, but his smile was as bright as ever. "You too," he called out. "Stop being sappy and come help me with the chessboard." I looked at Damien, at our son, at the home we'd built. It hadn't been easy. We'd started as strangers forced together by circumstance, two people who never should have worked. But somehow, impossibly, we'd found each other. Damien pressed a kiss to my temple. "Happy, happy," I said. "Happier than I ever thought I could be." He took my hand, and we walked toward the porch together. Our son ran past us, laughing, and behind us, the sun began to set over the garden. This was my family, my home, my forever, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. Our son, Lucas, turned 2 with all the chaos that age implied. He was a perfect blend of Damien's sharp features and my softer temperament, until he threw a tantrum. Then he was all Damien, stubborn, loud, and absolutely unwilling to compromise. "No bath," Lucas shrieked, clinging to the edge of the couch like his life depended on it. Damien stood in the bathroom doorway, arms crossed, looking both exasperated and amused. "Lucas, you're covered in mud. You need a bath." "No bath. Papa, save me." I bit my lip to keep from laughing. "Sorry, buddy. I'm on Daddy's side with this one." "Traitor," Lucas wailed, which was a word he'd learned from one of Damien's business calls. I made a mental note to monitor his vocabulary more closely. Damien sighed, walked over, and scooped Lucas up with one arm. "You're getting a bath. You can scream the whole time if you want, but you're getting a bath." "No." Lucas's protests faded as Damien carried him into the bathroom and shut the door. I heard the water start, then a splash, then Lucas's shrieks turning into giggles. I leaned against the doorway and watched Damien gently scrub mud off our son's tiny shoulders. His large hands were so careful, so tender. This was the same man who once told his friend that omegas were a hassle. Now he was singing a lullaby while washing grape juice out of toddler hair. "You're staring," Damien said without looking up. "I'm admiring." "Same thing." "No, staring is passive. Admiring is active. There's intention behind it." He glanced at me, and the soft smile that spread across his face made my heart skip. "You're impossible. And yet you love me. And yet I love you." He turned back to Lucas, rinsing the last of the suds. "See? All done. That wasn't so bad, was it? Lucas pouted, his bottom lip jutting out. You used the cold water. I used lukewarm water. Cold, Lucas insisted. Damien looked at me. He gets his stubbornness from you. He gets his debating skills from you. I countered. Is that what we're calling it? Yes. Later, after Lucas was in bed, Damien and I sat on the couch. The house was quiet, the city lights glittering through the windows. Damien's arm was around me, my head on his shoulder. He's going to be trouble, Damien said. He's two. They're all trouble. No, I mean, he paused, choosing his words carefully. He's already strong. His pheromones are developing faster than normal. The doctor said he might present early. I sat up, looking at him. How early? Possibly by 12. Maybe younger. Damien's jaw tightened. That makes him a target. My stomach dropped. I knew what he meant. In our world, young alphas with strong pheromones were often targeted by rival families, by people who wanted to control them, by those who saw potential threats and wanted to eliminate them early. What do we do? I asked. We protect him. Damien's voice was firm. We train him. We make sure he knows who he is and what he's capable of. And we never let him out of our sight. That sounds exhausting. Parenting is exhausting. He pulled me closer. But he's worth it. I leaned into him, feeling the steady beat of his heart. He's so much like you. He's so much like you. He has your smile, your kindness, the way he comforts me when I've had a bad day. That's all you. I don't comfort you. You do. Damien kissed the top of my head. Every day, just by being here. Lucas's 3rd birthday was a grand affair. Grandpa Sterling insisted on hosting it at the estate. Nearly the entire extended family came. Nathan brought his son, and the two boys immediately started building a block tower together. They're going to be troublemakers, Nathan said, watching them with a fond smile. They're going to be best friends, I corrected. Same thing. I laughed. That's what Damien always says. Nathan glanced at me, then at Damien, who was across the room talking to one of his business associates. He's different now. Happier. I know. You did that. Nathan's voice was quiet, sincere. I've known him for 20 years. I've never seen him like this. He used to be so closed off, so angry. Now he smiles. He laughs. He talks about you constantly. He talks about me. All the time. Elliot would like that. Elliot said this. Elliot makes the best pancakes. It's nauseating, honestly. I felt warmth spread through my chest. He makes the pancakes. I burn them. Nathan laughed. That makes it even better. Later, after the cake was cut and the presents were opened, Lucas fell asleep in Damien's arms. His tiny face was peaceful, his hand clutching a new stuffed wolf that Nathan had given him. Damien looked down at him with an expression of such tenderness that it made my heart ache. Ready to go home? I asked. In a minute. He shifted Lucas slightly, settling him more comfortably. I was just thinking about the first time I held him. In the hospital. I was so scared. You were. Terrified. His voice was soft. I kept thinking, what if I mess up? What if I'm like my father? What if I can't protect him? You're not like your father. I know. Now. He looked at me. Because of you. I reached up and touched his face. You did this. You changed. I just was here. You were here. He turned his head and kissed my palm. That's all I needed. Lucas started having nightmares when he was 3.5. He'd wake up screaming, drenched in sweat, crying for us. The first few times, Damien and I would rush to his room, hold him, soothe him until he fell back asleep. But the nightmares continued. Every night. Sometimes twice a night. It's his pheromones, the doctor explained. They're developing faster than his brain can process. His subconscious is overwhelmed. He's essentially dreaming in alpha dominance, and it's terrifying him. What can we do? I asked. Consistency, routine, and she looked at Damien. His alpha parent should sleep near him for a while. His pheromones will anchor Lucas, remind his subconscious that he's safe. That night, Damien moved into Lucas's room. He slept on a mattress on the floor beside the toddler bed, his hand resting on Lucas's back. I watched from the doorway as Lucas slept peacefully for the first time in weeks. Damien's mint scent filled the room, gentle and steady. "You don't have to stay," I whispered. "Yes, I do." He looked up at me, his eyes soft in the dim light. "He needs me. He needs both of us. He is both of us." Damien reached out and took my hand. "Stay with us." I hesitated, then slipped into the room and lay down on the other side of Lucas. Now our son was sandwiched between us, his small body relaxed, his breathing even. Damien's hand found mine over Lucas's back. "This is what family looks like," he said quietly. "Messy and crowded? Perfect." He squeezed my hand. "This is what perfect looks like." When Lucas was 4, he asked the question I'd been dreading. "Papa, why don't I have a mommy?" I was making breakfast. Damien was reading the newspaper at the table. Lucas sat on his booster seat, swinging his legs, a spoonful of cereal halfway to his mouth. I exchanged a glance with Damien. "Come here, buddy." Damien set down the paper and lifted Lucas onto his lap. "Do you remember how we told you that families come in all different shapes and sizes?" Lucas nodded. "Nathan's family has a mommy and a daddy. Sarah's family has 2 mommies. Tommy's family just has a grandma." "That's right." Damien's voice was gentle. "And in our family, you have 2 daddies." But where did I come from? I sat down across from them, my heart pounding. "You came from me, sweetheart. I carried you in my tummy until you were big enough to come out." Lucas's eyes went wide. "Really? Really?" I reached out and touched his hand. "Some omegas can have babies, and I wanted you more than anything in the world. So I don't need a mommy?" "You don't need a mommy," Damien confirmed. "You have Papa and me, and Grandpa Sterling, and Nathan and his son. You have a whole family who loves you." Lucas thought about this for a moment. Then he nodded. "Okay, can I have more cereal?" I laughed, relief flooding through me. "Yes, buddy, you can have more cereal." As I poured him another bowl, Damien caught my eye and smiled. It was the smile he reserved just for me. Soft, warm, full of love. "We're doing okay," he said quietly. "We're doing more than okay." I leaned over and kissed his cheek. "We're doing great." When Lucas was 5, Damien was hospitalized for a minor surgery. It wasn't serious, just a routine procedure, but the sight of him in a hospital gown, hooked up to monitors, made my heart clench. Lucas was brave at first. He sat beside Damien's bed, showing him drawings, telling him about his day at school. But when the nurses came to take Damien to the operating room, Lucas's face crumpled. "Daddy, don't go." Damien's eyes softened. He knelt down, wincing slightly at the movement, and took Lucas's hands. "Hey, buddy, look at me." Lucas looked up, tears streaming down his cheeks. "I'm going to be fine. The doctors are going to fix me up, and then I'll be back in this room before you know it. And Papa will be here the whole time. Okay, promise. I promise." Damien kissed his forehead. "Now be brave for Papa. Can you do that?" Lucas nodded, wiping his eyes with the back of his hand. "I can be brave." Damien looked at me over Lucas's head. His eyes said everything he couldn't say out loud. "Take care of him. Take care of yourself. I'll be back." I nodded, my throat tight. He squeezed my hand once, then followed the nurses down the hall. The surgery took 3 hours. Lucas and I waited in the room, playing cards, reading books, trying not to watch the clock. Every time the door opened, Lucas's head snapped up. When Damien was finally wheeled back in, pale and groggy but awake, Lucas climbed onto the bed and curled up beside him. "You're okay," Lucas whispered. "I'm okay." Damien's voice was rough, but his hand came up to stroke Lucas's hair. "I told you I would be." I stood at the foot of the bed, watching them. My family, my whole world. Damien's eyes found mine. "Come here." I walked around the bed and sat on his other side. He took my hand and brought it to his lips. "I love you," he said. "I love you too. Both of you." His gaze shifted to Lucas. My whole world. Lucas snuggled closer, already half asleep. Love you too, Daddy. Damien smiled, exhausted but content. See, we're okay. I leaned over and kissed him. We're more than okay. When Lucas was 6, I found a box in the attic of Grandpa Sterling's house. It was old, dusty, tied with a faded ribbon. Inside were letters from my grandfather to me, written over the years, never sent. Dear Elliot, today you took your first steps. I wish I could have been there. Your mother says you're stubborn, just like me. I take that as a compliment. Dear Elliot, you presented today as a low-rank Omega. I know you're scared. I know you think this means you're worthless. You're not. You are the most precious thing in my life, and your designation doesn't change that. Dear Elliot, I'm sick. The doctors say it's serious. I'm writing these letters so you'll know, even after I'm gone, that you were loved, that you were wanted, that you deserve happiness. I've asked my old friend to take care of you. His grandson is a good boy, stubborn, like you. I think you'll balance each other out. Be happy, Elliot. That's all I ever wanted for you. I was crying by the time I finished the last letter. Tears dripped onto the yellowed paper, smudging the ink. Papa, what's wrong? Lucas stood in the doorway, his face worried. Behind him, Damien appeared, his expression shifting to concern when he saw my tears. Nothing's wrong, buddy. I wiped my eyes and held up the letters. I just found something from Grandpa. My grandpa, the one who's in heaven. Yes. I pulled him into my lap. He wrote me letters. He wanted me to know he loved me. Lucas touched my cheek. Don't cry, Papa. Grandpa loves you, and I love you, and Daddy loves you. That's a lot of love. Damien sat beside me, wrapping his arm around my shoulders. He was right, you know. About what? About us balancing each other out. He kissed my temple. About you deserving happiness. I leaned into him, holding Lucas close. I'm happy. Good. Damien's voice was soft. That's all I ever wanted for you too. On our 10th anniversary, Damien surprised me with a vow renewal ceremony. It was small, just family and close friends, held in the garden of Grandpa Sterling's house, where it all began. Lucas was the ring bearer, now 8 years old, and already showing signs of his alpha heritage. He walked down the aisle with the rings clutched in his hands, his expression serious and proud. Damien stood at the altar, waiting for me. He was in a charcoal suit, his hair silvered at the temples, his eyes as sharp and loving as the day I first saw him. I walked toward him, and every memory flashed through my mind. The forced marriage, the coldness, the temporary mark, the pregnancy, the fights, the apologies, the laugh. When I reached him, he took my hands. You look beautiful, he said. You look old. He laughed. I'm distinguished. You're old. Lucas, standing beside us, rolled his eyes. Can you two say your vows already? I'm hungry. The small crowd laughed. Grandpa Sterling, now in a wheelchair but still sharp-eyed, grinned from the front row. The officiant nodded, and Damien began. Elliot, when I first married you, I was angry. I felt trapped. I thought you were just another Omega trying to take advantage of my family. He paused, his voice ruffling. I was wrong. You weren't trying to take anything. You were just trying to survive. And somewhere along the way, you taught me how to live. I blinked back tears. You showed me that love isn't weakness. That family isn't obligation. That happiness isn't something you achieve. It's something you build every day with the people you choose. He squeezed my hands. I choose you, Elliot. I've chosen you every day for the past 10 years. And I'll choose you every day for the rest of my life. It was my turn. I took a shaky breath. Damien, I was so scared when we first got married. I thought you would always hate me. I thought I would always be the low-rank Omega who wasn't good enough. I swallowed. But you proved me wrong. You showed me that I mattered. That I was worth protecting. That I was worth loving. I looked at Lucas, then back at Damien. You gave me a family, a home, a reason to believe in happy endings. I choose you too. Every day, forever. The officiant pronounced us bonded, again, and Damien kissed me. It was soft and sweet, and full of all the years we'd shared. Lucas made a gagging noise. Gross. Grandpa Sterling laughed. Get used to it, boy. That's what love looks like. As we walked back down the aisle, hand in hand, our son between us, I thought about my grandfather. About his letters. About his wish for me to be happy. I was happy. More than happy. I was home. Lucas presented as an alpha 12, just as the doctor had predicted. He was strong, confident, and fiercely protective of his family. He also had Damien's stubbornness and my tendency to talk back, which made for some interesting arguments. You can't date a beta, Damien said, his voice sharp. Why not? Lucas shot back. You hated omegas and you married Papa. People change. That's different. It's not different. You're being hypocritical. I stood in the doorway, watching them argue. They were so alike. Same sharp jaw, same intense eyes, same refusal to back down. He has a point, I said. Both of them turned to look at me. Elliot, Damien started. He has a point, I repeated. You did hate omegas, and you did change. Maybe Lucas's boyfriend is a good person. Maybe we should meet him before we judge. Damien's jaw tightened. Then he sighed. Fine. Bring him to dinner. Friday night. Lucas's face lit up. Really? Really? Damien pointed a finger at him. But if he's rude, if he disrespects your mother, if he so much as looks at you wrong. I know. You'll make him disappear. Lucas grinned. Thanks, Dad. He ran off to call his boyfriend, and Damien turned to me, exasperated. You're supposed to be on my side. I'm on the side of our son's happiness. I walked over and kissed his cheek. Besides, you were just like him once. Arguing with your father about the person you loved. Damien's expression softened. I didn't love you then. I was forced. And now I can't imagine my life without you. He pulled me into his arms. You've ruined me, Elliot Vance. Sterling, I corrected. I took your name, remember? You took my heart first. I laughed, burying my face in his chest. You're so dramatic. I learned from the best. We stood there, wrapped in each other, as the sun set over the garden. Our son was growing up. Our family was changing. But some things remained constant. The love, the trust, the home we'd built together. Thank you, Damien said quietly. For what? For staying. For believing in me. For giving me this life. I looked up at him, at the man who'd hated omegas, who'd been forced to marry me, who'd learned to laugh. Thank you for proving that people can change, for showing me that I was worth loving. He kissed me, and in that kiss was everything. The past, the present, the future. We were never getting divorced. We were never letting go. We were family, and that was forever. Friday night arrived with an intensity that felt almost like a boardroom negotiation. Lucas had cleaned his room without being asked, twice, and had changed his outfit 4 times. Damien paced the living room, adjusting his tie every few minutes. You're going to wear a hole in the floor, I said, not looking up from the table where I was arranging flowers. I'm not nervous. You're pacing. I'm exercising. I bit back a smile. In a 3-piece suit? Damien stopped pacing. What if he's terrible? Then we'll deal with it. What if he hurts Lucas? I set down the flowers and crossed to him, taking his hands. Then you'll make him disappear. You've said so yourself. I was being dramatic. You were being honest. I kissed his cheek. But let's meet him first. He might be wonderful. He might be. And if he's not, we'll handle it. Together. Damien exhaled slowly, the tension in his shoulders easing. Together. The doorbell rang at exactly 7 o'clock. Lucas ran to answer it, and Damien and I stood side by side in the living room, waiting. The young man who walked in was not what I expected. He was tall, with kind brown eyes and an easy smile. He wore a simple button-down shirt and dark jeans, and when he saw Damien, he bowed respectfully. Mr. Sterling, it's an honor to meet you. I'm Theo. Damien's expression was unreadable. You're a beta. Yes, sir. And you're dating my son. Yes, sir. Theo didn't flinch. I care about him very much. Damien was silent for a long moment. Then he extended his hand. Welcome to our home. Theo shook it, his grip firm but not aggressive. Lucas looked like he might pass out from relief. Dinner was surprisingly pleasant. Theo was polite, well-spoken, and clearly smitten with Lucas. He asked about my work, about Grandpa Sterling's health, even about Damien's business, though he wisely didn't push for details. After dessert, Lucas and Theo went for a walk in the garden. Damien watched them through the window, his arm around my waist. He's not terrible, Damien admitted. I told you, he's still a beta. And you were an alpha who hated omegas. I leaned into him. People changed. Damien was quiet for a moment. Then he said, if he hurts Lucas, he won't. But if he does, then you'll handle it. I turned to face him. But right now, our son is happy. Let him be happy. Damien looked at me, then back at Lucas and Theo, who were laughing at something in the garden. His expression softened. He gets his taste in men from you, Damien said. Meaning he chose someone kind. Damien kissed my forehead. Someone who sees him. Not his status, not his designation. Him, like you saw me. Eventually, he smiled. I got there. We stood there as the sun set, watching our son fall in love. Lucas graduated high school at 18, valedictorian of his class. Theo sat between Damien and me in the audience, and when Lucas's name was called, he cheered louder than anyone. After the ceremony, Damien pulled Lucas aside. I saw them talking, saw Lucas's face shift from surprise to emotion to something like understanding. When they rejoined us, Lucas hugged me tight. Dad told me about your grandfather. About the letters. I looked at Damien. He shrugged. He deserved to know. I'm proud of you, I said to Lucas. Your great-grandfather would be proud too. Lucas's eyes glistened. Thanks, Papa. Theo took his hand, and they walked toward the parking lot together. Damien fell into step beside me. He's going to be okay, Damien said. I know. He's going to be better than okay. Damien took my hand. He's got you. He's got me. He's got Theo. He's got a whole family who loves him. I squeezed his hand. Like I had you. Like you had me. He stopped walking and turned to face me. Elliot, I know I don't say it enough, but I'm grateful. For every day. For every argument. For every moment. I know. I reached up and touched his face. I'm grateful too. He kissed me, soft and slow, right there in the middle of the graduation crowd. People stared. Some smiled. A few took photos. Neither of us cared. We'd earned this. This love. This life. This family. And we were never letting go. Lucas and Theo got married in the same garden where Damien and I had renewed our vows. Grandpa Sterling had passed the year before, but his presence was felt in every flower, every laugh, every tear. Damien walked Lucas down the aisle, and I watched from the front row, my heart so full it ached. You're crying, Damien said when he sat beside me. I'm not crying. I'm experiencing emotions. That's the same thing. I laughed, wiping my eyes. You've been listening to me for too long. I've been loving you for too long. He took my hand, and I'm not stopping now. Theo and Lucas exchanged vows, promising forever in the same garden where a different forever had begun 20 years ago. After the ceremony, Damien and I sat on the porch, watching the sunset. Happy, he asked. Happy, I said. Happier than I ever thought I could be. He kissed my temple. Good. Because we've got a lot more years ahead of us. I'm counting on it. The stars came out, one by one, and the garden fell quiet. Our son was married. Our family was growing. And the love that had started as a forced arrangement had become the foundation of everything. I leaned into Damien, and he wrapped his arm around me. This was our story. Imperfect, complicated, beautiful, and it was nowhere near over.